The educational community loves meetings. The problem is with conduct of the meetings. Meetings are conducted by the principal, by the heads of the department, by the IQAC, and by a variety of authorities like the committee in charges or the committee heads. As I made a mention, people love to go to the meetings. But the biggest part is that these meetings often come out without outcomes. Second part is that these meetings go on for a very long period of time. And the third part is that everything other than the agenda is talked about. The meeting fails miserably. And the authority slowly starts losing its hold on the staff. Meetings therefore become very, very important tool for management. Meetings need to be carefully drafted before they are conducted. When we are going to conduct a meeting, we need to first plan for a meeting. We need to decide what are the topics of the meeting. Once the topics have been finalized, put those topics on the paper. See to it that the wording of the topics is correct and that no other meaning comes out of those particular words. Once the meeting has been finalized, then we come to the second aspect, and that happens to be who should be there in the meeting. Whether it is in general for all the staff members, whether it is for specific staff members, what is the size of the group that we intend to have the meeting for, what are the topics which we have already decided out. Once these topics have been decided, then go in for writing down the agenda of the meeting. Create an agenda of the meeting, and after the agenda of the meeting has been done, float the mail of the meeting. The meeting may be invited through a mail, or it may be invited through a notice, or it may be put up on the notice board the way it is done normally. Preferably see to it that the notice goes to the right people, the attendant carries the notice, takes the signature. Because there is one approach that you find that for unwanted topics the teacher says, I never received a notice. And therefore what is the best part happens to be send the mail 3 days in advance. I have noticed out that people see the mail and then they say, oh, that mail is after 3 days, it's okay, I don't have to worry. They may go through the aspect, but even then they may look into it, and even then they say we have time. This is the best advantage that I always make a mention about the meeting. People know the meeting. The second part happens to be float a notice so that actual signatures are taken, so that people say that well, I have received the notice, and then it becomes accountable. The third part is it can be put up on the notice board, on the pin-up board, where you are able to see the notice. Once the notice has been floated and you are sure that everyone who is supposed to come in the meeting has already seen it, one big task is over. Because then those arguments which are likely to take place, I did not know, I did not have an idea, which are very common in the educational fraternity, they are lost out. The mindset of the staff is ready to attend a meeting. This is the best time to conduct a meeting. Once the mail has been delivered or the notice has been floated, go in for preparation of a meeting. Let there be an attendant who is going to take care of the hall where the meeting is to take place. Availability of water, if tea is to be provided, availability of tea is to be done. There is one important aspect many a times in the colleges that I find is missing is that we don't have who's going to come for the meeting. So a tight list needs to be there and a space for signature needs to be there. or it could be a attendance register on which the attendance can be marked out. But then on the top of it, the name of the topic, the meeting day, date, time, venue, all these details need to come on the register, after which the signing would be coming up and after which the details will go on. Always see to it that on the agenda then we do not take more than 3 to 4 points. Don't take a long list of points, because then the purpose of the meeting starts getting defeated. So the agenda should be brief, crisp, to the point. You can go in for 4 meetings, it's absolutely okay, rather than going for one meeting with 16 points. So going for the first 4 points of the long list that you have, and that's the agenda for the meeting. Now once the agenda has been finalized and the date of the meeting comes and the time of the meeting comes, see to it that the one who has called the meeting is there before the staff comes in. Wait for the meeting to start. If the time is, let us say, given is at 10 a.m., then in that case, the one who is going to conduct the meeting, if he is the principal or the head of the department, he should be there 5 minutes before 10. He waits for the people to come in. It makes an impact. Over a period of time, the meetings will start taking place in time, because they know that the one who is going to conduct the meeting is there before everybody comes. If we go after everybody has joined to the meeting, it may appear that people are waiting for you, but that may not be so. There will be some kind of discussion that are going to take place, and that can harm the purpose of the meeting. And therefore, if you are there before the meeting starts, it starts mattering out. Later on, there is one more aspect that I wish to add to. After 2, 3, 4 meetings that have taken place, since you are there well in advance, there are those who always come late. You get a chance to catch them and say that last time also you were late, you are always late for the meeting. This impacts in two ways. One, the one who is late is definitely being questioned that you are late. The second, those who may take a privilege next time will stop taking that privilege. We need to be there in time because the meeting starts in time. Also see to it that since you have 3, 4 points, means some of the points are not going to take big time. Maybe it's only an announcement to be done. Then in that case, fix the timing for the meeting. That the meeting will last for 30 minutes. The meeting will last for 20 minutes. There can be meetings where you only have to declare. The meeting will last for 10, 12, 15 minutes. There could be a meeting where you want people to interact. Then in that case, in such kind of meetings, the meeting will last for some particular time span. Once that time span has been decided and the meeting should start in time, it is quite possible that the quorum has just completed out, or maybe there are some 50% of people, you start the meeting because it starts creating an impact. The one who is going to come in late gets a conscious that I am late. Make it a point that you will, in the first meeting, you will make a mention that, well, I don't find diaries coming with you. If people come with a diary, you can see to it that you can praise a person. That's so nice of you every time you get a diary. That makes a positive impact on the others the next time they start getting their diaries. If they have a diary, then the things get recorded and it becomes easier. But you will find people coming up with empty hands. And therefore, in some way, a kind of an accountable mechanism needs to be created. Once this accountable mechanism has been created, once the person starts understanding that you need to come with a diary, the points get recorded. This recording is extremely important because the chances of forgetting out the facts slowly start losing out. Then people don't forget out, and this gives us a better advantage. There is yet another big danger that starts when the meeting begins. It is the phone calls. If you are conducting a meeting, please see to it that your phone goes on an airplane mode. No phone call will take place during this period. You will not be entertaining the phone calls, you will not be entertaining any kind of messages. You will not look into the phones, and you will also tell that kindly do not look into the phones. Keep your phones aside. Start it in the beginning of the meeting only. No phones, please. So that the phone is either put off on the silent mode, or it is put on the airplane mode, so that nothing will take place with respect to phones. Don't let people go for having the phone in their hand. Let the phone be on the table. Once this has been done, it cuts down the time to a very great extent. No nonsense things are cut down by at least 50%. It also makes people responsible to attend the meeting. The next aspect happens to be, there is always a group of people who will always start bringing out other points other than what has been made in the agenda. See to it that only those topics related to agenda are spoken. Feel free to tell the people your aspects are really very good, but they will come into the next meeting. I request you to call a meeting. That is what you can also tell. Once you make a mention, you call a meeting. There are people who will never go for calling a meeting. Then, once the agenda is being spoken out, there is yet another class of people who keep on praising you. They will always praise you. They will say, "Sir, we want a cup of tea. You are conducting a meeting. So nice of you." Don't fall into that trap either. They may be your favorites, but see to it that neither the people who favor you nor the people who oppose you take you away from the agenda. When the meetings are proceeding, it is the job of the one who is conducting the meeting to see to it that it becomes participative. There are different types of meetings. In some meetings, only some things are to be announced. The college has decided to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's a different kind of a meeting. But I am talking about those meetings where some work is to be allocated, and it is to be done. In most of these cases, what I find pan-India, throughout India, the problem that the principal often faces is that the teacher says everyone else but me, not me, don't give me this work. I am already loaded, I am busy, etc. etc. In the initial meetings, this is going to be a problem. If we want to sort it out, there is one way out. Make the meeting a very participative meeting. Put the problem in front of the people and ask for opinions. They will shirk to give opinions. See to it that you make it participative by asking the questions to the people. What is your view on this particular issue? Over a period of time, people will start giving their views. See to it that there is someone who is recording out all those views. When there is a problem, 90% of times we also have a solution. What can be done over here is keep the solution in your minds and bring people to that solution or a solution better than that. Once this solution has come in, accept the solution and go for the next step. That is allocation of work. Allocate the work and ask for allocation of the work. The first part happens to be ask who will like to go for this particular kind of job. There is a big chance that not me, anybody else. Don't let this happen. promote people to see to it that they take the job. There is one very big and positive aspect that the head of the institution or the one who's heading the meeting should do, and that happens to be, I'm always with you in any kind of work that you do. When this particular work is to be done, maybe it needs a mass support where more teachers will be needed. You can always say these teachers will be available to you. I am there to help you. When you conduct a meeting, I will be sitting over there. I'll see to it that staff comes. This starts impacting the other staff members. Second part is that there could be some financial requirements. Once the person asked for it, you see to it that they are promoted and necessary finances are made available well in time. There could be some secretarial assistance that a person needs. See to it that the office is going to help out or somebody is going to help out in this kind of assistance. There is one very big part that is to be seen. Convince him that I am going to be with you. Once you have done this, this starts making an impact. The job has been allocated. See to it that without fail, you make a mention saying that the job is now allocated to Mr. XYZ. It is our responsibility collectively to see to it that the work is done. We all are with him. This makes an impact. They have to assist the person. Once the assistance goes on and the work is done, in the next meeting or in the subsequent meeting, it could be a follow-up meeting where so much of work has been done, so much of work is yet to be done, where help is needed, who is going to help. All these finer aspects need to be worked out. Initially, till the system sets up, the principal or the authority that we are talking on should be with these people. Over a period of time, the institution starts becoming independent. The institution starts becoming responsible, and with this responsibility, the authority need not put in those many efforts. It depends on what kind of organization it is, how long it has been in that particular state, and what is the objective of the authority now to change it out. Once these things have been done out, once these meetings start working successfully, meeting becomes a very big, strong tool in the hands of the management and the leader to see to it that the work is done. The primary job of the leadership is to see to it that our work is done, and meeting can be one wonderful tool to see to it that it is worked out. Thank you very much, and we go to the next topic.